Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
And good evening to all of our viewers. We're so glad to have you today. It's been a time. So welcome. I'm your host Ed McQueen, of course. My co-host, Miss April Garner Davis, and we're glad that you all could be here. So you have not seen the promotion because we didn't send out one, but the word communication went out. In another form, I sent out some emails indicating who was going to be, and I made some phone calls. So today we want to talk about an incident that occurred in Horry County that had, to our knowledge, April, hadn't occurred in a long time. You correct me if I'm wrong. So, and what it was the burning of a cross, which known throughout history has been a symbol of hate group towards Black people. And the one that has happened here recently was described as appalling and unacceptable by the Horry County Chief of Police. And April, we have him here today to address that and elaborate a bit more on that as to exactly, if he can, give us more information about that happening in the community. So, without further ado, let's see what our illustrious chief has to say about that.
Good evening, everyone. I appreciate you guys having me on. First of all, let me apologize for my attire. I'm actually on travel, visiting family in Kentucky, and also dealing with an upper respiratory. So if I sound a bit winded, it's because of that, but I'm grateful to be on.
Well, we're happy to have you. Not for this occasion, however, but at any time when you're conveying information as important as this is, we're glad to have you on anyway. So go ahead and, if you don't mind, kind of give us a full rendition of your office, knowing exactly what happened, so that the community can get a straight shot of this incident. Like I said earlier, there was something that hasn't happened in our neighborhood in Conway in a long time. It's my understanding, or reported anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, reported. So I've been here for 7.5 years, and this is the first incident of this nature that we've had to investigate. And this occurred Thanksgiving Day, and it's a neighbor of a family, an African-American family. The family was having folks over for holiday festivities, as folks do, and had a house full of people. And they looked outside their window and they saw a burning cross in the neighbor's yard, directly in eyeshot of the family. Of course, they notified law enforcement and fire department, and we got involved. It's disheartening. It's disappointing. It angers me and several other key community members and the general community as a whole. I've been monitoring the social media chat, and by and large, everyone is very supportive of the family that was victimized, terrorized, and condemn the actions of the perpetrators. As you know, South Carolina is one of 2 states that currently do not have a hate crime law. Wyoming is the other state.
Right.
So the only thing that we were able to charge them with, the suspect, was criminal mischief harassment. But we have partnered with our regional partners. SLED's also involved, and we're looking at other avenues to address this unacceptable behavior. I will tell you that I've been in touch with the family almost on a daily basis, checking in with them, making sure they're okay, and keep them abreast of the investigation and next steps that we're taking. And you can imagine the community is quite upset and alarmed by this. This is not indicative of Conway or Horry County at all.
Okay.
So Chief Hill, I'm sure that it's enlightening and disturbing to hear you say that there is no law in South Carolina that's strong enough to combat this type of behavior. And I'm sure that in 2023, there are a lot of people who are dismayed and can't even believe that that is something that is happening now. And so I can imagine that maybe your department or your office was flooded with calls or people expressed their concerns. How do you put the community at ease when it comes down to things like this? Because I'm sure the sentiment is if it happened once, it'll happen again. And who's to say it's not a part of a pattern that may have been established and that may continue? So, what have been some of the comments you've heard from the community, and how have you addressed those things?
So, understandably, the community is concerned, upset, angry, if you will, at the actions of these suspects. And we have not received calls demanding, further action. I think what they're doing is sitting back and seeing how law enforcement and the state is going to respond to this. What I can tell you is that the investigation is ongoing. We're doing all that we can. And we just want to assure the community that this is a great place to live, work, and raise a family, Horry County as a whole. And these incidents are isolated. As you stated earlier, you have not heard of an incident like this in forever. Since you've been around, and I've been here 7.5 years, and not heard of an incident like this. So this is a very unique one-off incident that's been reported to us. And the only thing that we can do right now is rally around our neighbors, because this is just not about the African American community. We have instances across this country of hate crimes against Jews, LGBTQs, African Americans, Muslims, you name it, Asians. It's just the hate is just rising above all else, and it seems to be getting worse every year. And I don't know what it's akin to, what is driving these behaviors. But the only thing I can tell you is our community has got to rally around all the good people in our community, and we can shut down this hate. Yesterday, I received a very encouraging email from a local entrepreneur wanting to reach out to that family, to wrap their arms around them and show them some love. And I'm sure there's other folks out there in our community that would like to do the same thing. If you look at some of the comments on social media, overwhelming support of the family, condemnation of the actions.
I see where they were charged with second-degree harassment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, what is usually the normal measurement or punishment for that?
Well, it's a misdemeanor offense, so it can range, but it is a misdemeanor, as you can well imagine, not nearly the type of punishment for something of that nature. And what's interesting is a lot of the younger people in our community, 20, 30-year-olds,
Right.
they have no understanding of what that symbolism is of a burning cross. It's terrorism against African American communities. But when you ask a young person, white or black, you may get an answer that'll surprise you in that they don't understand what that symbolism is. So we're training our officers on, to recognize what hate crime is, even though we don't have a hate crime law. And even talking to our community members, they just don't understand the severe impact and the psychological impact that has on Black communities.
I think that's why I'm surprised that we haven't heard more from the community. I would have imagined that your phones would have been ringing off the hook. People just, highly concerned, anxious, possibly, afraid, and not unless it has come across as such an isolated incident that nobody needs to worry. But I think that even in the, frame of an isolated incident, there's a principle here that we're talking about that you just mentioned, the absence of the hate crime law, the fact that somebody out there feels that it's still okay to do this, and they don't understand I don't want to say they don't understand the symbolism. They purely understand the symbolism or they wouldn't have burned the cross.
Yes.
But the fact that they felt it was okay, there are things that our communities tend to wrap their arms around and want to go, fight tooth and nail for. And this particular thing is something that really surprises me that you haven't heard more from the community about it, and so, there's a question or a comment question in the chat. Thank you so much for watching, Tanya Robinson. She says, it happens around the world, but how can we in South Carolina protect ourselves from these types of incidents where there isn't hate crime law? I think you've kind of given your insight on it, but yeah, what should a person do if they are subject to this type of crime?
So, in my research of this, it's astonishing the number of people who are subjected to bias crimes, fail to report to law enforcement. And there's a lot of different reasons behind that. Either they think law enforcement doesn't care, won't take them seriously, they don't want to be re-victimized through the process. They're concerned that prosecutors won't push the agenda or the case through. There's a lot of different reasons. And we're talking about a wide spectrum of communities here that are feeling hate and bias in this country. What we need to do as a community is doing exactly what Horry County and Conway is doing and rally around our neighbors. We won't let this happen because we are a community that cares for one another. And so we can stamp out this isolated behavior. And it truly is isolated in the fact that this is not something that happens all the time in Horry County. And I say all the time, and I say this particular incident burning a cross, but we have folks that have been terrorized because of their sexuality, their religion, their culture. And so it does happen. So I think it's critically important that we as caring individuals and caring community show these folks that we won't tolerate this in our community.
Verdell Beckman is watching. Thank you so much for watching tonight, Verdell, out of Columbia, South Carolina. Is this not considered arson is the question?
No, this particular incident, the cross was burned on the suspect's own property, not on the property of the victim family. So no, it's not considered arson.
Okay.
There's also a comment from Cedric Blaine, Spain. Thank you so much for watching tonight. NAACP, Democratic Party, others have received several calls, concerns, calls to action. President Murphy, NAACP, South Carolina State Conference is on top of it. Stay tuned. So it sounds like another show, Brother Edward.
Yeah, let me address that, because I've been in touch with the NAACP, Mr. Neal, and he represents the NAACP of South Carolina. I think he's the vice president. He and I have been in touch over the last few days. There is a press conference that will be scheduled in the future. There's some things that are working that I cannot elaborate on. But I think that we're going to show our community, South Carolina, and the country that we can protect our community, and we have other avenues other than the protections that are afforded us in the state of South Carolina. That's all I can say about that. So stay tuned. There is more coming. NAACP has been phenomenal. We touch base probably every couple of days, make sure that the family's okay. And I touch base with the victim family almost daily.
Wow. So just let me run this by you, which is, I'll call it a statistic. South Carolina and Wyoming are the only two states that don't have hate laws.
That is correct.
Hate crime. That's rather appalling within itself. But a bill was introduced that some 3 years ago now, and it's been locked up in the Senate or stalled, they call it,
Mhm.
in the Senate, South Carolina Senate for 3 years. You think that this is going to be like an impetus or catalyst for something to take action on?
So I can hope so. Absolutely. I know that USA Today has carried the story. This is going national, and so there's
Right.
some pressure here and nationally to push this through. Maybe changing some of the language, and I have no idea why it didn't pass or didn't make it through the Senate in previous years. And I'm hopeful that, with everybody paying attention to this now, and if they need my help, I'm right here to testify against, or about the anguish that this family has suffered. This family is a professional family, not that that makes a difference, but, they are. They're retired government workers,
Mm.
and they just wanted a peaceful place to call their home, their forever home. And they chose Conway, South Carolina, and they chose my community. And so I take it as a personal affront that this or any other type of bias attack happen in our community. But we're not done yet, so stay tuned.
Dorothy Reeves, thank you so much for watching. She wants to know if there's any police protection present in the family's community.
There is what we call keep checks. Officers are keeping a watch on the community as a whole, not just this one particular house, but the community as a whole, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly is a situation and an issue that is of a very, high and aggravated nature, as you all use that lingo in law enforcement. But again, it's the kind of thing that's, an eye opener that the more things change, the more they stay the same. We have to remember that there are people in our society who will continue to uphold this kind of ignorance and criminal activity as a means of intimidation and to try to just make sure that there's divisiveness in our community. So as a community, I agree that, we should rally around the family to make them feel comfortable, especially if they've chosen this area as a place to relocate and to rebuild and to reroute and all of that. And I applaud the NAACP, Democratic Party, and others who may be taking action and moving forward. And I will state this. Hopefully it won't be the type of thing that, we hear about it and then it's gone. It dissipates as quickly as a vapor, because these types of this type of fight and the resistance against this type of activity needs to be ongoing. And the community needs to understand that there are resources, organization, people, whomever, that are out there who are willing to take up the charge to fight against this kind of activity, not in a physical way. We'll leave that to the police, but in more of a civil way, in terms of the community tolerance and the willingness to say we have zero tolerance for this type of activity. So hopefully there will be a lot of action behind the meetings and things that are happening. And I think, understanding what you've depicted as far as where the cross was burned, it's kind of confusing to me that the cross was, I guess the person chose to burn it in their yard. I don't know what the rationale would be behind that, but it's kind of interesting how, I guess there's some legality behind that, because it is a cross burning, that allows it to be dealt with versus being dismissed. It sounds like the suspect might have thought, I'm fine, I'm burning it in my yard. That part is kind of perplexing to me. The whole thing is perplexing. Why burn it at all? But burning it in the yard, and I don't know if that creates like a little bit of a twist as far as the legalities are concerned. You said he's being charged. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It would be
Okay.
additional charges if the suspect burned the cross on the property of the victim family. And then you've got trespassing. Yeah, then you have arson, malicious damage. You have a lot of other charges. But he chose to do it in his yard in direct eye shot of the victim family. And what makes it even worse is that this family, looking at Conway, South Carolina, is this beautiful place to live now, had their whole family from New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and New York over.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only is the victim family victimized, but then everyone in that family is victimized.
Correct.
And some of
Mm-hmm.
the comments that were relayed to me is that we told you not to move to South Carolina. We knew it was that way in South Carolina. And that angers me because that is not the way South Carolina is today.
Mm-hmm.
And to top everything else off, I was in contact with the family yesterday. A member of the family who was there at the house, who witnessed all of this, an elderly person who probably lived through this in their time, passed away recently, within
Mm-hmm.
days after this incident.
My
So
Lord.
really disturbs me that they left this earth seeing this type of hate again.
That's
And so,
powerful. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is kind of piggyback on what you said earlier, Chief. The with Horry County itself is becoming and has been for a while an economy of tourism. I don't think that Horry County. I'm looking forward to some strong, not just reaction, but some strong, not just statements, but some strong action to take towards this incident, because I don't think that Horry County can afford for this to be. It's already nationally known now, but I don't think they can afford for it to reach any further. Okay, I just don't think so.
right.
I think our expectation for greater, not just concern, but greater enforcement and response from the law enforcement community can be expected, I believe.
Yeah. And again, I can't elaborate on some of the discussions I've had over the last 4 or 5 days. But I will tell you, people are paying attention outside of South Carolina. And I'll
Yeah,
just.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, Chief Hill, I know that it's probably a little difficult for you to continue the conversation, Brother Edward. I'd like for us to respect the fact that he's not feeling well. But are there any parting words you'd like to leave with the audience? There's several comments in the thread. Kenneth Floyd Sr., of course, he has expressed his comments about the fact that the NAACP will be taking action and wants the community to come together. You've already expressed that sentiment as well, and so the hope and the prayer is that we will not have any type of incidents like this ever again. But the reality is that this and even worse could possibly happen. So, what's your best advice to the community, especially in a matter of making sure that nothing escalates beyond what we would hope is a reasonable way to deal with some of these things?
Sure. And this is a saying we've used for so many things. It started with the terrorist attack of 9/11, see something, say something. So if you are a victim of bias and you've been assaulted, harassed, call law enforcement. And if you are in a community where you see your neighbor being harassed, step up and say something. You don't have to confront the aggressor. You call 911 or the non-emergency line and turn that over into the hands of law enforcement. There is a press conference that is being worked on as we speak. And I would say that probably within the next 4 or 5 days, if up to a week, there'll be a press conference sponsored by the NAACP. And you'll see a lot of presence there. We'll try to get the information out to everybody so we can see a lot of support from the community. Just show up and let folks know in your community that you will not tolerate this. Not just law enforcement,
Absolutely.
but you as a community. So I would love to see the steps of the courthouse where we're thinking about having it full of people with concerns. And so we can push back this hate that's been brewing. And I'm very hopeful and confident in my community, and I know we're going to pull this out.
And I'll even add, Chief Hill, not just from the Black community, but from all communities. Everybody should be involved in this resistance. It's, we're not going to get everybody because there's some who support what happened, but this is a time to show solidarity across communities and hopefully that's what we'll see. That,
Yeah.
hopefully
I
that's
agree
what we'll see.
100%. There's a lot of communities that are terrified. I've met with the Jewish community, the Muslim community, and folks are on edge now nationwide. And as we get closer to the 24 election, I think anxieties will increase. There's a lot of hate speech that's being
Hmm.
thrown around. So just be vigilant, be kind, and trust your law enforcement. And if you see something, please say something.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chief
Absolutely.
Hill, and we certainly pray that you and your family will have a wonderful, safe, and peaceful holiday. And I don't know what you celebrate, but Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Merry Christmas to you too. Absolutely.
Exactly. Or
Hey, man,
anything to
look,
celebrate.
man,
Yeah.
you should drive safely back from Ohio.
I will. Kentucky
I'm
and
sorry,
Ohio.
Kentucky. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry.
Kentucky.
Well,
And I
they border
have
each
a
other
gift
anyway.
under my tree with your name on it, sir. Absolutely. I'm gonna give April a pass. But you, I expect a gift from. Take care.
All right, take care. Well, Brother Edward, I tell you, that's again, it's 2023. It is 2023. And we are still dealing with hate crimes, racially motivated hate crimes. It's just absolutely amazing to me. And I don't know what the magic formula is or when it's ever going to get better or to the point where we don't even have to talk about these types of things. We'll have the historical context of what happened, and hopefully it probably won't be in either of our lifetimes, but we'll, generations to come will be able to read about the fact that it was eradicated. And but I think that to his point about everything that's happening and coming in 2024, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So everybody just needs to stay vigilant. And like he says, if you see something, say something. Protect one another. Have each other's backs. Be a true community. And our communities are so blended now. Blacks, whites, whatever. In the communities, hopefully, there will be, like I said, that kind of solidarity. I don't know. It's really sad.
I still look at this as a wake up call. Okay,
It's a wake up call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've gotten complacent as to how vigilant we should be of things like this. Thinking that everything is lovey-dovey. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as racism or discrimination. I mean, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I just, things happen for a reason. If it's a wake-up call, and then we, you have to act, okay?
Mm-hmm.
and prep for the next thing. Nothing like being proactive.
Yep, got to be proactive. So, but on a lighter note, and it's amazing that we're talking about this so close to the holidays, but we definitely, we can't dismiss it and not cover it at some
Absolutely.
point, and so we had this opportunity, and we wanted to make sure that the community knows that as much as possible, whenever things like this happen, if there are officials who are willing to come on the show and talk about it, even if they can't give details, we invite these people to come and be a part of our show. And Chief Hill is always accommodating when it comes down to that type of thing. Yeah, because he wants everybody to be informed. So, we appreciate his time tonight. So, Brother Edward, on the flip side of this, it's amazing that we're going to be talking about cross burnings and Christ in the same show, but we need some Christ in the show. we need some Christmas because of everything that's going on, and just want to.
It's not Christmas anymore. It's Xmas.
Well, you know what? I still put the Christ in Christmas, so, but the Christmas holidays are just around the corner, just a few days away. I can't believe we're already here. 5 days from Christmas Eve. And, everybody's out shopping, having a good time and all this other good stuff. And there's Christmas events and parties and galas and things like that happening. And so We certainly want to extend, happy holidays and well wishes to everybody, and want to talk about a couple of things that, of course, all of you already know are happening this coming weekend. But, Brother Edward wants to shed some light on with some reminders that I think we need. So, Brother Edward, why don't you talk a little bit about what's happening this weekend?
Oh, well, besides the fantastic gala, which I can't wait. I can't wait. You guys did something, something like that. But anyway, right down the street from where the gala is going to be held at the 4 Points, right? Hotel. Okay. And right down the street from that, within eye distance. It's going to be at the Stargate.
Staybridge
Suite. Sorry, Staybridge Suite. We've decided, the World Community Magazine has decided to really just make the community and the people who are about to go to the event of the gala, just let them see what they are going to be experiencing at the gala, and why, and the reason for the gala. Okay, and you can talk about membership after this, because they really need to up their membership, April, right? So, but at the Staybridge, we're going to have a display of vintage graphics, vintage videos, some photos. We think that you're really going to appreciate, and going to take you back to the time where you can look and appreciate how you got here through the venue of Whittemore Community and all of Conway, and some of the things that I'm finding out a lot of people just didn't know about. One of the things, and I'll mention this, and it's not being shown on the video that we would like for you all to see, but it's the Eastern Carolina Community College. Nobody ever heard of it. That was at Whittemore High School. Started, and they graduated one class. Okay. After that, I think some political things came into play. Next thing you know, it popped up was not in that sequence, but Horry, Georgetown Tech, and then Coastal Carolina University. I think Coastal Carolina University was first, I believe. But anyway,
we actually had an HBCU in Conway, huh?
Not a college.
Think about it.
Junior college.
It was an HBCU. Mm-hmm.
That's right, junior college. And we've got some memorabilia to back that up. That's going to be displayed at the Staybridge Suite, and among many other things. Okay, but we think you're going to like it, and it's just for you. It's free of charge. You just walk over there and just view them. Probably have some refreshments. We'll try, but it's easy to get into the building. It's right on the same floor. You have some directional signs there that could assist you in order to for you to see that. Okay, so if you want, it's from 10 to 2. Okay, 10 in the morning to 2 p.m. And this is just prepping you for the big time gala at 7 p.m. Okay, but there's a lot of things in store there too. At 7 p.m. You're really gonna like this. Hopefully, you'll have a fun-filled day on that Saturday, and that was the intent. Okay, so April, what do you think? Think we can show them some videos of?
Well, we definitely, we this video clip, we're just going to show a little bit of it. It will be published on the Whittemore Alumni Association website. It has been shared with the association members, and it's something that we hope everyone will enjoy. I guess you can call them curators of this particular video include Herbert Brown, who was the person, the association member who provided the photos for this video montage, and Janet Lawrence Patton and her husband Kenneth Patton actually put the video together. And
Fantastic
so,
job they did.
it was Herbert's idea to make it available for everyone, just to enjoy some photos from the day, the days of Whittemore. And so the easiest way and the simplest way to get it out to everyone is to provide a link. So again, we will post it to the Whittemore Alumni website. And if you would like a link personally emailed to you, please contact us through the Whittemore Alumni website, and we will email a link to you. Of course, the best way to get in on all of these goodies is to become a member of the Whittemore Alumni Association. And as I've stated before on previous broadcasts, or during previous broadcasts, the association certainly needs the alumni to be a part of the growth and the progress into the future. The association operates with two thrusts, if that's one easy way to put it. The main mission, of course, is to provide support for education for students who are Whittemore descendants, and those students are seeking higher education. But the second is to reunite, or to create engagement and a connection between the Whittemore alumni and to maintain the history as much as possible through the alumni. And so the only way to do that is to make sure that the alumni base is strong. And, under the watchful eye of the late President Anna Staley, the association accomplished many things from 2022 when she became president. She was actually voted in late January, beginning of February, along with myself and Shirley Jones, Mary Colbert, and Kayla Brown. And we worked as a cohesive unit to figure out a structure for the organization that moved it from being more of a social club, which it wasn't a bad thing. It was the idea and the vision at the time. And that's a part of the engagement piece. To becoming more of a viable and sustainable association that could support the educational pursuits of Black students who were descendants of Whittemore alums or graduates. And so whenever you become involved, you can be a part of that mission. You can be a part of it in terms of bringing ideas to the table, being boots on the ground to help the association when there are things that need to be done, being ambassadors for the association, so that, the donations that come in will support the mission of the organization. The mission is twofold. So we want to make sure we're supporting the mission of the organization. If you don't support the mission of the organization, you can't have galas. So, when you give a donation, give it to the mission of the organization. And the galas also, are kind of act as not only a reunion, but also as a major fundraiser for the year. So we are completely excited to have over 200 guests. We sold out of tickets in 16 days, and we have over 200 guests attending this Saturday's event. Everything is sold out. There's still questions. I actually had someone call me as late as this, or as recently as this evening, asking if tickets would be sold at the door. There are no more tickets. We do not have any seats left. So there's no need to ask. There's no need to ask. And you know what it says, though, Brother Edward? It lets us know that next year needs to be bigger and better, bigger venue. Then that way, we can definitely accommodate everyone who wants to be a part of the celebration. Again, we have to give our respect and honor to the late President Anna Staley. She was the one who selected this venue, and I think she did it in a conservative way, because we were coming off of COVID and coming out of COVID, trying to do a big major gala and not knowing whether or not the community would embrace it, not even knowing whether or not we would take a turn back to, the days when COVID was at its peak. So the planning was conservative, and I think that, the support has been overwhelming, and it shows us that the association can continue to grow and do what it needs to do to get support from the community. So we want to give props to Herbert and Janet Lawrence Patton and her husband Kenneth for this particular montage. I'm going to just show a little bit of it, just a little teaser.
Yeah, we had to show that today. We just had to show something of it.
Just a little teaser. Let me see. I hope it'll, Brother Edward, it will.
Oh, we're gonna show it in its entirety at the at our vintage.
Good.
On Saturday.
Good.
Okay, we'll show it in its entirety. I suppose we can talk while it's there, just to explain some of those things. Of course, wow, look at that. I gotta say, we had beautiful people back then. Oops, this is 378. Okay.
Yeah, Highway 378.
Highway 378. That's Wright Station, right above.
Wow.
Amoco Station. Okay. It's our talented band that's coming down. Our most talented majorettes. And that was full of talent there. That's Miss Colton Ballard. She's in Kentucky now, Miss Barbara Buck, right? Of course, that's Miss Demetrius Kelly and Miss Hickman. This goes way back, yes, I don't know. That's Michael Kelly, who just passed not too long ago. Yeah. And then this is Miss 1958, Miss Whittemore.
Okay.
Miss Isla Pearl DeWitt.
Wow.
Right. And right, that's Miss Maxine Hughes. It was last name now, I don't know what it is now, but she was crowned, I think, Miss Elementary. Yes, Miss Maxine DeWitt. Miss Maxine DeWitt, who was Miss Whittemore, along with Mr. Don Lee, who became an instructor at Whittemore. So, of course, that's Miss Elena crowning somebody. Of course, this is Maxine DeWitt with her, what do you call her? Oh, you got me on these now.
Well, I tell you, Brother Edward,
look, that's just a pitch, okay? That's just a
that's just a pitch of it, as you would say.
That's just a pitch. I mean, you got a long way to go.
I know. I hate to turn it off. Yeah, because it, right. But yeah, beautiful video. And I failed to mention, but Janet Lawrence Patton made a point to put it in the comments. Becky DeWitt also provided a large number of the photos for the video collection from the Whittemore High School yearbooks, 1950 to 1970. Becky's working on a really big project right now. And that is related to these photos and Whittemore memorabilia. So thank you so much, Becky, for that assistance as well. And of course, Cedric made the comment about the late Pastor Laura Blaine Spain. So, I'm glad that you're going to have the vintage room, and this type of these types of artifacts will be shown, videos, pictures, and all that seen during that time. And hopefully, it will energize people and reignite their passion for the association, because the association is a part of the piece that will help to sustain this history. Of course, Whittemore Race Path Historic Society is doing their part to make sure that the history of the community and the surrounding area is brought to light. And so, I'm sure that in the future that will be a huge collaborative partnership. And the truth of the matter is, Whittemore alums are in the Historic Society and vice versa. So you all are working together,
That's right.
and treating, but you're taking two very unique parts of Whittemore history, the actual Whittemore Race Path community history and the specific school history, and creating quite a nice little blend. So I hope that when everyone comes to the gala, this weekend. They will come with a spirit of unity and camaraderie, honor for the legacy that Whittemore has created. So many of us are an extension of Whittemore. Brother Edward, you're an alum, I'm a legacy, and we're working together, and so, that's really what this is all about. And another piece that I want to share with everyone this evening that I hope that people will be equally as excited about as a part of what we're offering, meaning the Whittemore Alumni Association at the gala, is a souvenir calendar. They traditionally had a souvenir booklet, but again, leaning on the conservative side, trying to be a little bit more creative and creating a practical piece. The idea was birthed to do an actual calendar that will be for sale at the gala. And so I just want to show the actual cover of this calendar so that you can see.
Wow.
With the first two lines of the alma mater and the historical marker. This is a 2024 memorial calendar. So this is a great Christmas gift. This is a stocking stuffer.
Right. Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and so you will. It comes packed with photos of our scholarship recipients. We have the Whittemore historical sketch in here. We also have information about the founding of the association, the current officers, and then we have tons of businesses that advertise in support of this particular piece. There's even an old school important contact numbers folder we decided to add. I remember my mom and grandmother having calendars that had, the contact grid, and you could write down the names of, the whoever you're trying to capture the phone numbers. And that was a part of how they captured their history. I mean, because if I needed a phone number, I knew to go to the calendar. So
how much are the calendars, April?
Well, I was asked to not mention that, right away. But it will be available for sale. It's this is a keepsake piece. There's some historical photos from Whittemore as well in here. We have photos from the last couple of major events, including when the historic marker was placed at the sacred site of Whittemore. Great picture of Miss Vivian Wilson riding in last year's parade in that beautiful red car. I can't remember if it was a convertible. I don't know if it was a Cadillac or what it was, but it was beautiful. And we have, just tons of information. So first of all, I want to, on behalf of the Whittemore Alumni Association, thank all of the supporters, the people who bought ads in this magazine, in this calendar, who, and actually we surpassed our goal. Didn't realize we would have as many color ads in the I keep saying magazine, in the calendar, but it's great because it does add a great quality to the magazine. But like here, I know everybody can't see it, but this is the historic sketch with a few pictures from Whittemore, and we've even included some important dates on the calendar. So, for example, I included observances that relate to Black history, and this is something that can be built on for years to come. Absolutely. So we have a wonderful video. We have this keepsake calendar, and it will be available at the gala. I will say this. If we run out of calendars, if we sell them all at the gala, the association will do a reprint. So they will be for sale, and we'll probably place it on the website if you'd like to order one. And so that's another little tidbit there, Brother Edward. Just a lot of, like I said, creative ways to make sure our history comes to life.
So at the, just want to mention this, April, at the vintage display at the other hotel, we're going to have some magazines. The first, we're going to have copies of the first magazine and some of the second and third and fourth magazine, starting back in 1999. Okay, for sale. Mm-hmm. All right, so you can have them as souvenirs. All right, so just want to let you all know that.
Okay, all right. Well, Brother Edward, this has been an amazing show. It's been an amazing year. And again, we want to thank everybody for supporting WCM Live every single Tuesday night that we're able to create the show. And the hope and prayer is that 2024 will be even better. with, more guests, more topics. We definitely need your support to understand what you want us to showcase and what, what kinds of discussions you'd like to have. And for those of you who have purchased tickets to the gala, want to let you know that doors will open at around 6:15, 6:30, and the program will begin at 7 o'clock. We will have dinner, and then a little ceremony, and then dancing. DJ Cube was on the phone with him tonight to make sure that he understands what he needs to do. Actually, he was like, what kind of music do they want to hear? Are there any special requests? I want to be prepared. So yeah, if you're coming to the gala and there's something you want to hear, how about drop me a line so I can create a list and give it to DJ Cube. He's going to do a fantastic. Right. Yeah, he's going to do a fantastic. And Brother Edward, you said you were going to dance with us electric slide. No,
I didn't tell you that.
You said that, Brother Edward. You said, I said if I come by the table and get you, you were going to dance. So, all you got to do is a two-step. That's it.
Okay. All right. I guess I can handle that.
All right. Well.
By the way, we're the activities that are going to occur at the gala, you listed them. So you'll have a ceremony. You have an award ceremony or something?
Yes, we are actually going to have what we call. Of course, Larry's going to dance. Of course, Larry, we need to know what your favorite song is, so I can make sure the DJ has it. It's going to be, we're going to have an evening of honor ceremony, and there are a few people that we will recognize for their contributions to the association. Right. And so if you're there, you will get to see who we are going to honor that evening. That part is extra special as well, something that hopefully the association can continue for years to come. So, yeah, it's going to be great.
Okay, so you're going to start planning for next year, right? I mean, because this one's already too small. I'll say this. Of course, pulling the gala together was a team effort. There is an events committee that is headed by Shirley Jones, and she's also our parliamentarian. Of course, as we restructured, everybody had to wear a lot of different hats. For example, I was the secretary, and I was also marketing and media and everything in between. Shirley and a couple of her committee members, worked on the plans. Janet Lars Patton, Sherlyn DeWitt, and I, along with Eugene Bellamy, worked on other elements to get the gala together. And so, again, a team effort. And but it's important for people to know that being a member of the association means you can be a part of the planning and the execution of our galas and the meet and greets and any other types of activities we want to have when we do the scholarship drive and all of that. It takes alumni support, legacy support, to get involved. Okay. And so, there's been talk about, planning sooner, getting a nice venue so that we can increase. Never know. Maybe next year we'll have as many people as the AKAs had at the Pearls of Excellence Gala. You never know. Right. It's possible. Right. It's possible, but you may have it twice per year. You never know.
Hey. I have a little summer something and a little winter something, huh? Okay. That's an idea, Brother Edward. That's a good idea. Yeah. And so, and Janet made sure, Janet, our treasurer, who is going to make sure that every penny is pinched. Membership drive. Yes, please. If you are interested in becoming a member of the association, all you have to do is go to this website. There's information there. Membership is only $25 a year, not a month, not a week, $25 per year. And it gives you access to our monthly meetings, which happen currently the third Sunday of every month. I don't believe that is going to change. But you can be a part of the process here as far as plans and things that are pulled together for the association. Give your input. There are other benefits that committees are working on in terms of membership. So there are things that are going to come along. You never know. Next year, maybe if you're a member, you get a discounted price. Who knows? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. But you won't know, and you can't pull. We can't pull together these ideas if we don't have a support from the alumni, and not only support and I'll join, but support, and I'll join and be active. I'll participate. I will come to the meetings. That's the only way you're going to get the full truth about everything that's going on and be a part of the movement. And so we encourage everyone, go to the website, go to the membership page, join, come to the meetings, just be a part of it. So Larry says his song is Stay in My Corner by the Dells. So I'm going to make sure, Larry, I have put that on my list. I'm going to pass it to DJ Q. Okay, that's a little slow, Larry. Who you slow dragging with? Okay. Is that what he said, brother? Who you slow dragging with?
That's right. You slow dragging.
I know Larry can cut a leg a little faster than that. You cut a faster leg than that, Larry. Give us another song that I know you're going to do the electric slide. You're probably going to do the cha-cha slide. He said he can't tell everything. Okay, I got you. I know he's laughing. Yeah, it's going to be a great time this Saturday. Somebody asked me about the dress code or the attire. We promoted it as formal. People love to dress up, especially around the holidays. So if you want to dress up in formal wear, please do. We would say nothing less than semi-formal, even maybe business attire. Some people wear suits versus tuxedos. And then at the same time, it's whatever you're comfortable in. It's not like we're going to turn anybody away. You know what I mean? But, come out and enjoy and wear the purple and gold if you can. That would be great. And we have a couple of little surprises for the evening. So be picture ready. I'll just say that. Be picture ready. So that's it, Brother Edward. That's all I have for the gala. That's it.
Hey, look at you. Go get your hair fixed.
Yes. Get your hair done. Get your eyelashes. Whatever you have to do to be ready for the gala this weekend.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Look, no, I'm sorry. Next week we're off.
Yeah, we're off next week. So we will see you in 2024, right?
That's right.
Wow, this is it for 2023.
Happy New Year to everybody. Wow, man.
Yeah. So, Brother Edward, I know you gotta give him the last word on since this is the last show. Give him the last word.
I just want to thank everybody and all the people who were tuning in, especially our commenters and people who are sending in comments throughout the year. Letting us know how much you appreciate receiving the information that we get to bring you every week as much as possible, and having a guest every week. And when April and I talk about it sometimes, we get excited when we start when looking at the comments that you all send in, and we share our thoughts on that, and it's amazing of what's ahead for us. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what's ahead for us. And in April, I'm looking forward to really you all really considering having another alumni gala in July.
I'm not going to tell you what you have to do to get that on the table, Brother Edward. You already know. You already know. I have to post this comment by Verdell. Listen, she said no eyelashes except your own. Now, Miss Verdell, you know that's not going to happen. You know everybody's going to have their lashes flapping in the wind. They're going to be looking fabulous.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, goodness. All right. This has been a wonderful show. Thank you, Jerry Rutledge, for watching tonight. Jerry is also a supporter. He's advertising in the calendar. Make sure you check out Jerry if you're in his area. Who else we have here? Verdell, of course. Thank you, Stephanie Sessions Malone. We appreciate you so much. Vicki Hemingway, thanks for watching tonight. Dorothy Reeves. Jacinta Moultrie-Barr, she has an ad in the, let me tell you, Jacinta wears a lot of different hats. She is a travel agent. She's a notary. She's a this, she's a that. If you need anything done, call Jacinta, okay? But she has a nice ad in the calendar. We thank you for your support as well. And we'll see you all on Saturday. Brother Edward will be there.
See you on Godspeed.
Take care. God bless. Yeah. Merry Christmas. We'll see you Saturday. Okay.
Happy New Year.
That too. Happy New Year. All right.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.